Welcome to Motherhood Unstressed, a podcast for anyone who wants to let go of stress and anxiety and learn how to be more fully present in life. Each week, I'm speaking with experts in the fields of entrepreneurship, nutrition, mindset, sex, spirituality, and so much more. I'm your host, Liz Carlisle. I'm a writer, a speaker, and an entrepreneur. Through my own struggle to balance the demands of motherhood and life, I discovered that to truly be happy, we need to be present. Your journey to feeling less stressed and more blissfully present in your own life starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I am so glad that you're here. Today's show is going to be all about purpose and purposeful work. And sometimes I think we feel like we can't make a difference, or we don't have the power or the bandwidth to make real change in the world. And after this episode, you're going to realize that that's simply not true. I'm speaking with Maggie Doyne. She is a true change maker in the world. She is the founder of BlinkNow. And basically, when she was a teenager, she was in Nepal and saw a need for children. And so she started a school and an orphanage and now a women's center. And she's just doing incredible, incredible work in the world. So I'm so excited to have her share her story and to allow you to see for yourself that you have the power to not only change your life, which is something we talk a lot about on this show, but to change the world for the better. So enjoy this episode, share it with a friend, share it on your Insta stories, and tag me at Motherhood Unstressed. And of course, if you haven't already, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Thanks, guys. And this episode is sponsored by Motherhood Unstressed CBD supplements. As you know, these are the supplements that I created with the intention of helping you battle stress and anxiety in a natural way. And I truly believe that everything we need to heal and be well is already on this planet in the form of plant medicines. So this is totally in alignment with that. And I have exciting news. I just launched the affiliate program, and basically you can join the team if you have an audience and you want to share our CBD with them and they use your unique code, you earn commissions. That's it. You don't have to buy any product. You don't have to push or, be annoying in selling. You just share your experience on Instagram or your website, your blog. And if they use your code to purchase, you earn. That's it. And we also have an amazing sales training program in place. My partner is the master of sales. He does big data sales in Silicon Valley. He's incredibly talented. And so you're going to be supported along the way. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, intriguing, head on over to my website, motherhoodunstressed.com, and fill out an application to be a part of the team and get the support you need to earn extra money and help people naturally deal with stress and anxiety. Well, hey, Maggie, thank you so much for being on the show. I can't wait to dive into your life story and everything that you've accomplished and the amazing work that you're doing in the world. So thank you for taking the time to be on the show today.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So diving right in, how did you end up, this young American girl across the world, starting a school, starting an orphanage, changing lives and creating such a positive ripple effect in the world? Take us through your origin story.
Well, the origins of it all were definitely not planned. It was very happenstance. There was definitely no moment of setting a pin on a map in Nepal and being like, I'm going to go there and help people. But it was a sort of sequence of events, starting with me waking up when I was 18 years old, and everything in the community that I grew up in was about college, and going to school and being successful and getting on the fast track. And I just had this moment at the end of high school, as I should have been going to college, that I started to question things. And I said, I don't really know anything about who it is or what I want to do with my life on the inside. And that led me to take a gap year, which led me to travel. And I ended up just really, long story short, meeting children. And it was in 2005, around the same time that the civil war in Nepal was happening. And I actually, in the beginning of the journey, started by enrolling children into school. And that was how I felt like I could make a difference. So, yeah, I think you just never know where life's going to take you.
I mean, when this was all happening, when you were in Nepal, when you were just kind of there exploring, did you ever feel like
there was something bigger, like speaking through you or speaking to you, or how did you know that you were doing the right thing in that moment?
I think, yeah, there were definitely a series of moments. And, you know, one of those moments was locking eyes with a child on a dry riverbank. Her name was Hema. And I just saw our shared humanity and the fact that, although we grew up in two very different times and places, that we were so much the same. And it's just like, I don't want to live in a world where kids have to break rocks instead of go to school. And then I would say, like, meeting kids and hearing their journeys and feeling that interconnectedness, but also feeling a sense of home in Nepal, and like in my gut, knowing that there was something to do there. And just like the right people coming into play. My co-founder, Tope, and his family decided to move back to Nepal, during the war-torn era, and finding the villagers, it made it seem like it was going to happen.
Were you surprised when the school was constructed and the orphanage and everything was falling into place? As it was happening, was it surprising to you?
There were moments where, you reflect and you look back, but you're also just in the grind and trying to hustle. And we started with a home, and then a few years later, it was hard too, there were lots of barriers, especially in those early years. And, you're constantly worried and stressed, but also young and just working hard and in the trenches wanting to get to the next thing. So yeah, there were moments where you're kind of caught off guard and think like, oh my gosh, is this my life? And I was becoming a mother, and it all just became my life though, somehow. Like, a lot of me has grown up in Nepal, and that's where I did my coming of age, and and that was my college experience in a way.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me about the conversation with your parents when you pretty much let them know, like, I'm probably not coming back, or not, I'm not coming back full time. Like, I'm going to be staying here doing this work. What was that like? What did they say?
Yeah, I had to sell it to them for sure. They were all on board for the gap year and traveling, and especially initially it was with a group. And then there was a moment in a phone booth where I called them and asked for my $5,000 of babysitting money. And it was because I wanted to buy this initial piece of land where our children's home now resides. And that was a long, long conversation. And, my mom was concerned about, like, as a woman, having an education is important. And, they were worried.
Was there ever a moment when you're in the grind and you're hustling and you're doing all these things, did you ever think of backing out?
Oh yeah, of quitting. Don't we all though? Like, looking back now, like, it was such a huge commitment to make at such a young age. Forcing myself in those hard moments to look for help and to look for other models and to learn, was a really big asset and a big advantage, because I was like, okay, we're going to need, a lawyer to help with my bylaws for registering the nonprofit. We're going to need a social worker for this step. And I'm going to need the local government to partner with me and advise me on this. And I'm going to need a board of directors, and I'm going to need someone to teach me how to do this, and a curriculum. And if you're willing to kind of let people in to help you and learn, it helps you in those hard moments to, like, reach out. And in those early years, I think at 21, 22, 23, that was the time of just learning and figuring it out. And my co-founder is Nepali and amazing, and most of my team is Nepali. So that kind of helped through some of the cultural hard things.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I still can't get over it. Like, I'm thinking about myself at 21, 22, 23, and there is no way that, this would even be in my zone of anything. I mean, it's just really remarkable that you did what you did. I mean, and anyone listening who feels like maybe they, missed the boat, or were partying too much, or were distracted by other things. I think it really goes to show you that it's never too late. and it's never too early. If something speaks to you, you can really chase after it. So can you speak a little bit about that? Like what, for the listener who wants to find some sort of purpose, they feel like something is missing and they don't really know what. And I think that's why, anxiety comes up, depression can come up when we're not really doing work that's fulfilling for us. How can they find purposeful work and get involved in their community, do good work and feel like they're contributing and doing something big in the world?
Watch for those moments of thinking like, oh, I'll do it eventually, because eventually becomes our life. And so just look for those little baby steps of where you can get involved, where you can get a difference. Listen, be quiet and still and in the moment enough to know when that calling comes, because it could be the bees, it could be the ocean, it could be global warming, it could be foster care in the US, it could be, everyone has their something. And just be open and listen. And like, we're only here for such a short time. Like, we need to take care of our kids and each other and watch how we spend our days and our moments, because it's just over in the blink of an eye, and so I just tell people, like, look and listen and get involved. And it comes back, like, for everything that I feel like I've given and sacrificed, it's come back to me in a million times, like a million ways. So it's not always the story of you being the giver or, the one that's giving back. It's often like takes you on a journey that you don't always expect.
I love that. And I think that that's so true. I mean, you hear it again and again in music and in poems and everything else. And it's true. It's like the more you give, the more you get back, and then some, and in ways, like you said, that you would never expect. So I think that's really brilliant. Getting quiet. It's something I talk about all the time, like sitting still, meditating, seeing what comes through. I mean, oftentimes people don't even know, what makes them happy or what even makes them tick. So what's been the most surprising thing in this journey of yours and everything that's come up? You said, it comes back to you in surprising ways. What's come up for you?
I mean, I'd say your kid that's been struggling in school, struggling to make friends, getting a good report card all of a sudden, or Friday night movies with popcorn and, just like listening to music together on the roof. And I live for those moments with the kids, and that's where the surprises are. And I think that's where the fulfillment is. And I think seeing that no matter the tragedy or, the horrific things and the loss that these kids have been through, that they're willing to just heal and be nurtured and find each other. And the resilience is really surprising of how kids can heal and how a community can come together to create something so magical, where a space where kids can be safe and educated and loved. And I'm really constantly in awe of that.
It's such a great teacher for us, for the listener, tuning in, like, you can heal and you can be resilient. I mean, look at these little children who are doing it every single day. Wow.
Yeah, that there's hope. There's hope for sure. And then you see that, all of these amazing children and what they're able to do and accomplish and what they're able to do in the world. And you think, oh my gosh, I just want that for every single child on earth. And how do we do that? How do we keep children with their families so that these things don't happen? Because orphan care, in the end of the day, is we're dealing with the greater symptom. And how do we work with these orphan numbers and statistics? Because I think us not caring for our world's children has a direct implication, and that is continued cycles of poverty and then violence. And so that's what I want. I want every child to be mothered and fathered and loved and cared for and educated. And I think that when we're able to do that, we'll find a peace and a prosperity that the world has never known. Like, that's what's exciting to me. Like, we have the highest literacy rate among women that we've ever had in the world. And that's because of hardworking people and young girls getting enrolled into school and breaking stigma. And we just need to keep it up, because we are making strides, and there's so much good happening. And we just have to keep believing that it's possible and not doom and gloom, and that the world's done for, and just watch out for that too, I would say. Even I need to remind myself every day, like, no, we can do this. Like, let's stay positive. We got it. Like, one at a time. So yeah, I think just keeping that belief and not throwing the towel in and just being like, all right, I can't control anything, so I'm just going to look after my 2 kids and, you know, build a wall up and protect my family and my life. I think we need to redefine what our family really means, because I think all children should be our family, you know?
I just got like such chills when you were talking. I mean, that's so powerful. And I feel the exact same way. And it seems like that's really what you want your legacy to be. I mean, is that accurate?
Oh, totally. I think my legacy, my organization's legacy, what I want more than anything is to inspire other people to be able to do this work, and that we can take on these challenges and to forget all of the BS out there and focus on what's important. Like, if we just like think about all the distraction we have and all the things we've worked for, and yet we're not taking care of our kids, of children. Like, so yeah, I think that's our message with BlinkNow, and I think it's mine, and I want more people like me out doing this stuff, and more change makers within their communities. And that's the thing, when you educate kids, they're going to do the rest of the work. They're going to change their communities and their countries and their neighborhoods and their own families. So I think, yeah, that's the message, just one at a time. And I hope that that's our legacy and mine as well.
Yeah, you're doing it. So what's the biggest takeaway you want the listener to walk away from this talk?
I'm sure it's a lot of mothers, and I have this vision of being old and gray and on my rocking chair with a lot of my children surrounding me, and just thinking about, you know, their history books and seeing that poverty and violence were a thing of the past. And I just invite everyone to share in that vision with me, that this can all, what we're seeing reflected in the world today, can go in history books, but it's going to take a lot of work. So let's do it together.
I love it. So I do have some rapid fire questions for you if you're ready to end it out.
Okay, let's see.
It's not bad. Okay. The world needs
love.
I love it. I believe in
unexpected things just waiting for us around the corner.
I like that. I'm grateful for
my baby Ruby, my husband, my family and children in Nepal, my team.
And last one, what's something that you've learned in life that you wish someone would have told you earlier on?
Never throw the towel in. Don't give up. There's joy even after sorrow. Yeah, there will be joy again.
I love it. So how can the listener find out more about you and BlinkNow and get involved in what you're doing?
We're on every kind of social media outlet. BlinkNow on Instagram, BlinkNow.org, BlinkNow on Facebook. You can follow along on the journey in Nepal and our kids, and you get to see the magic every single day. Yeah.
So beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing your light. Thank you so much for doing what you're doing. You are changing the world for the better every single day. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hey guys, I hope you love this episode with Maggie Doyne. If you feel like a friend could benefit from hearing it or be inspired by it, please share it with them. Share it on your Instagram stories and leave us a 5-star review on iTunes, because that's really, at the end of the day, how the show is going to grow and touch more people and inspire more people. And like Maggie's doing every single day, create a positive change in the world. Thanks, guys. This episode is sponsored by Four Sigmatic. This is the Finnish company bringing you medicinal mushrooms, and they just released a skincare line. So now you can make your skin more beautiful, and it's actually also edible. The serum and the mask is edible. So that just shows you how incredibly safe it is if you can eat it, and how beneficial it is for your skin. If you head on over to foursigmatic.com, you can use the code UNSTRESSED to save 15%.